Now at 10, Freeman Health System in Joplin holds a walk in honor of National Kidney Month. Plus, it's allergy season. We'll have some tips to help you reduce some of the symptoms. And Keltoy Winery is kicking off St. Patrick's Day with a weekend-long party. We'll take you there.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Multiple states and agencies are helping to search for a missing University of Missouri college student who went missing in Nashville. This is KOAM News at 10. I'm Anthony Saviello. Crews searched a river there looking for Riley Strain. Reporter Kylie Walker has more.
After 22-year-old Riley Strain was asked to leave Luke Bryan's bar on Broadway, we know he went down 3rd Avenue to Church Street, and that's where he took a right, walking all the way down till it turned into Gay Street. However, his last known location was between the bridges off James Robertson Parkway and Woodland Street. What's going through your head right now?
Disbelief, this bad dream, wake up, be able to hug my son.
Describing it as an emotional roller coaster, Chris Whited tells us his stepson was last seen nearby a homeless encampment.
Right now, there are a couple of the homeless that have confirmed that they either spoke with him, but they know they saw him. So the detectives are kind of working with that.
Whited says detectives are searching through any gaps from surveillance footage.
So we're just trying to find, did he get in a car? Did he fall? Is he with a homeless person that's taking care of him? Did he walk on down around the corner?
On Thursday, MNPD's Urban Search and Rescue rappelled down the embankment near the Woodland Street Bridge and scoured the shoreline of the Cumberland River, with many members of the community joining in on those efforts.
For about 6 hours, we went up and down the river. We walked all the bank. We went 14 miles downstream and then came back up almost to Rock Harbor.
And with his nonprofit American Airboat Rescue, Gary Hanner says he spent the last couple of days with Strain's family. This in search of the missing college student.
We parked the boat along the shore and then just hiked up in and talked to many homeless people and saw, went through their camps and stuff and just trying to find any clues we could.
Meteorologist Lindsay Gaffney joins us with a first look at the weather.
All right, so temperatures today around 67 for our high. Our low this morning is about 37. So we're right on track for an average March kind of temperature range. However, we are dropping for the next couple of days, with our high tomorrow only being about 57. Everywhere in the area is dropping now down to the 50s. Still some areas in the west sticking in the 60s, but we will get our overnight low down to mid to low 40s tonight. We have some pretty low humidity values across the region as well, lower than about 40%. We're going to have a couple of dry days ahead of us, especially paired with all the festivities that are going on tomorrow. Fire weather can be a concern. We still have some areas with dry fuels. Now, St. Clair, Cedar, and Dade County up in the northeast are no longer in drought conditions. They had some flooding happen last week, so we do have more rain chances in the future, and I will have all those details up next.
Thanks, Lindsay. Spring starts next week. However, our recent warmth and above average winter meant pests have been making early appearances in the area. Pest control companies have seen continued calls for ants and spiders. A Southwest Missouri veterinarian is also seeing dog and cat owners coming in with tick concerns. Experts say now is as good of a time to stay ahead of ticks so you and your pet can rest easy. However, it's also important to monitor your pets and yourself for any possible symptoms of a tick bite. While the national temperatures rise, allergies are not far behind. Experts say there is a rough allergy season ahead. Health professionals say March can be the worst time for pollen. They say 11 different species of oak trees bloom, one after the other, from January to mid-May, and the worst is right now. It's the tree's time to reproduce, which puts thousands of seeds on streets and cars. Doctors recommend closing your windows, using your air conditioning, and getting the necessary treatments from your doctor. Today, people in Joplin got into the St. Patrick's Day spirit one step at a time. KOAM's Samantha Walker has more on how the March of the Kidney lets people be festive while supporting a good cause.
People gathered at the North Park Mall in Joplin, but they were more than just mall walkers. They came to participate in the March of the Kidney, an annual event hosted by Freeman Health System.
The March of the Kidney is an event that we do to honor the patients that have passed from kidney disease, to celebrate those who are currently on dialysis, and to raise funds and awareness about kidney disease and dialysis.
March is National Kidney Month. According to the Center of Disease Control, more than 37 million Americans suffer from a chronic kidney disease. For participants at the march, the cause hits close to home.
My mother was on a kidney patient here about 10 years ago, and a very good friend of mine, Campy Benson, just recently passed away, who was on dialysis for the last 10 years. So it's in honor of him and my mother that I'm walking today.
Emily Gilbert donated a kidney to her close friend Caleb. She says raising awareness about kidney disease is important.
These sorts of events are important because some people don't really know about kidney disease. I think a lot of people need a lot of education, and once they know about it, it's better to spread awareness and help others.
And for people like Greg Dickey, who has been on dialysis for the past 7 years, the march also offers an opportunity to meet with people going through the same thing.
And it's nice to see people that's had transplants and stuff like that. It's very interesting to talk to them.
It's cathartic in a way. It's helpful for those who have maybe had people suffering or have lost to come together and to support and heal each other.
While the March of the Kidney may seem like it's just a 1-mile walk, to those who attend, it's so much more. Reporting in Joplin, Samantha Walker, KOAM News.
This is the 10th year for the March of the Kidney event. Proceeds from the march stay in the area and go towards kidney patients to help cover their treatment costs. One winery in Oronogo is helping bring a little bit of Ireland to the 4 states this St. Patrick's Day. Keltaway Winery is an Irish winery that is throwing St. Patrick's Day parties this weekend to celebrate the holiday. The event features festive decorations, Irish food, and live musicians playing traditional Irish music. Organizers of the event say it's a great way to be able to share Irish culture.
Well, Keltaway is an Irish winery, so it's got an Irish background, Irish theme, and so every year that means we celebrate St. Patrick's Day really big. And we have a 2-day celebration this year, today and tomorrow on the actual day, with everything that's green.
The St. Patrick's Day party will continue tomorrow at Keltaway Winery from 12 to 5 p.m. St. Patrick's Day is tomorrow, and people will be celebrating all weekend. But if you want to get in on the revelry, you'd better get up early. New research by Eventbrite shows people are planning to party just as hard, just starting earlier in the day, and Gen Z is driving that trend. An overwhelming majority of Americans say they plan to participate in the luckiest holiday of the year by dressing in green. That's followed by making a special meal, going to a party, and attending a parade. Coming up, Higher Power Garage in Joplin educates local drivers on how to keep up with their vehicles. Plus, we take a look at how Gen Z is shaking up the workforce. Higher Power Garage in Joplin is putting on classes to teach people how to properly maintain their car. The class goes over different types of oil and fluid your car uses, as well as the parts of your engine you should be checking on a regular basis. Those who attended were able to interact with a certified mechanic and get a more in-depth look into the inner working of their car.
The reason why we do this is because we've seen a real problem with kids coming up and not really knowing how to maintain the car. They get taught how to put gas in it and how to drive it, but they really don't ever get taught how to check the oil or do maintenance schedules or anything like that.
These classes happen every month. They are free of charge. Higher Power Garage asks that you register ahead of time before attending. There can be as many as 5 generations in the office right now, and in some cases, workplace attitudes don't align. But there are some takeaways for older workers. Karen Caffa is in Washington with a look.
Almost every worker underwent a seismic shift to their work life within the last few years because of the COVID-19 pandemic. But without history to hold on to, Gen Z views things a little bit differently, and workplace experts say that's not necessarily a bad thing. When the House overwhelmingly passed a bill that could ban TikTok in the U.S., Its first Gen Z member, Maxwell Frost of Florida, was in the spotlight for his age and his no vote.
Yes, it has to do with young people, but taking a step back, I just think it's bad policy.
Frost is 27 years old. His oldest Democratic colleagues are in their 80s. The leader of his caucus, 53. The House, a high-profile example of 5 generations in a workplace. The silent generation, boomers, Gen X, millennials, and Gen Z.
We have more generations in the workplace than ever before because people are living and working longer.
That on its own creates workplace challenges, but multi-generation work expert Lindsay Pollock says the COVID-19 pandemic's disruptions added more layers, especially for Gen Z.
They just don't have that experience of being in some of the situations that maybe older generations might take for granted.
Amid talk of their more casual approach to interviews, even to showing up on time, career strategist Julie Bauke says Gen Z may have other priorities because they have so many career options.
So they are less likely to follow the edicts, the declarations of an employer because they see work as a collaborative experience, not as a top-down, you tell me what to do and I do it.
While that might irk coworkers, Bauke says Gen Z workers are taking a firmer stance on work-life balance than older generations.
This has been generationally coming, and it's finally gotten to the point where we have a generation who said, I'm willing to take a stand.
Lindsay Pollock says that rather than rolling their eyes at younger coworkers, older generations should clarify their expectations and also value Gen Z's expertise on their own generation, whether it's business, technology, retail, any sector. Who knows what Gen Z wants better than Gen Z? In Washington, I'm Karen Kafa.
Target stores will be getting more and faster checkouts to satisfy customer wishes for quick trips. The retailer says starting March 17th, it's now going to have express self-checkout in most of its stores nationwide. Those stations will have a limit of 10 items or fewer. Target says it tried express self-checkout last fall in 200 stores and customers responded positively. Target will also open more traditional lanes with employees for customers. Dollar General is also making changes to checkout procedures because of ongoing theft issues. The CEO of variety and low-cost store chain says it is removing self-checkout stands in about 300 locations with high shoplifting and theft. In about 9,000 other stores, some checkouts will have cashier or hybrid options. The company says it wants more employees involved in checkout again. It hopes of cutting down on theft. A little later, Pitt State and Missouri Southern baseball have split their series so far. We'll have who will win the tiebreaker in sports.
And we have a dry few days ahead. I'll have more details after the break. Well, today was a nice day, sunny skies, temperatures in the mid to upper 60s, and even some counties seeing temperatures in the 70s. We are moving into a pretty cloudy evening. You can check out the shot from Indigo Sky Casino and Resort. Can't really see how cloudy it is, but clouds cover all of our counties. It's gonna be pretty cloudy by Sunday morning. We will start to see the sun again, just in time for all the festivities to kick up. We don't have any kind of rain in the forecast until Wednesday evening. That's due to this cutoff low over in Arizona and Southern California. It's just going to keep sitting there and rotating, and it's not going to move towards our area for the next several days. So we've got a couple of dry days ahead. Now, this could cause some concern for drought conditions since we already have a lot of our counties with drier fuels, not to mention humidity values less than 35%, could cause some fire weather concerns for the next couple of days, especially if you're out celebrating, you have a grill or anything like that. Although winds aren't going to be too fast, so it won't be too bad on spreading fires, but these humidity values for the next couple of days are going to be less than 40%, which is very dry. Tomorrow we could see winds up to about 20 miles per hour by mid-afternoon. Could bring a bit of a cooler breeze for your St. Patrick's Day since temperatures are only getting up to the upper 50s tomorrow. Now we have this cutoff low. We actually have two lows right now. One in Canada, it'll be moving across our eastern states, and then the other one's still sitting off the west coast. Now, the one in Canada is not a cutoff low, so it will continue to move along with the upper level flow. But if you can see, the one out in Arizona is just kind of sitting there. It's going to keep rotating. It's not a part of any upper level flow, so there's nothing driving it. It's just going to sit out there until it does join back up with the upper level flow, and you can kind of start to see it'll start to shift a little bit right here. Tuesday later in the evening, we'll start to see that make its way through our area on Wednesday. So until then, it'll be pretty nice temperatures, especially for your St. Patrick's Day, only getting up to about 57 in the Joplin region, and around the other counties ranging from mid-50s to mid-60s. But it will be sunny skies, a light breeze. Not too bad of a day for all of your St. Patrick's Day festivities. Low will be about 31 degrees, so it's going to drop down to be a pretty chilly night. Monday getting up to 51, but we will start to warm up. Tuesday, 70 degrees, and Wednesday evening is when we're going to start to see those rain chances. Thursday we'll have some thunderstorm chances, but the rest of the week mostly just scattered showers all the way through the weekend and into the following weeks. We've got a lot of rain chances in the forecast.
Much needed rain chances.
Definitely much needed rain chances.
Looking forward to some St. Patty's Day celebrations? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
Perfect. Right on. Thanks, Lindsay. Don't forget, you can be the first to know about the day's weather with the KOAM Skywatch weather app. Get severe weather updates sent straight through your phone, free of charge. It's available in the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store, the KOAM Skywatch weather app. Still ahead, Pitt State men's basketball begins the opening round of the NCAA tournament. Plus, Missouri Southern and Pitt State square off on the baseball diamond. Brock Baldridge has the highlights and more.
The Missouri Southern Lions and the Pittsburgh State Gorillas are two of the top 4 teams in the MIAA baseball standings. Now, Missouri Southern won the series opener on Friday, and the two teams meet again on Saturday. Beautiful day for baseball in Pittsburgh as the Pitt State Gorillas host their rivals Missouri Southern. We pick things up in the top of the 5th inning. Pitt State leads 3-1. Nate Miskowski with the bases loaded goes opposite field, and that ball rolls all the way to the wall out there. Ethan Clark and Tragan Parker coming to score. The base is clearing, RBI double, and Missouri Southern takes a 4-3 lead. To the bottom of the 5th now, same score. Blake Mosley gives this ball a ride to deep right field. And that ball is going to bounce off the wall there as the outfielders scramble for it. Joe Hamilton will round third and coming to score easily. It's an RBI triple. Pitt State ties the game 4-4. Bottom of the 7th now, tied up at 4. Nixon Brandon doesn't get all of it, but just enough of it to find some turf out there in shallow right field. Mosley will dive in safely at home plate, and the Gorillas take a 5-4 lead. Bottom of the 9th now, runner on first, last chance for the Lions, and Cole Askew slams the door shut. And Pitt State splits the series as the Gorillas defeat Missouri Southern 5-4. Series finale is scheduled for tomorrow at noon. Over to softball now as the Pitt State softball team continues to dominate day in and day out. The Gorillas on both of their games this afternoon, they sweep Augustana, make it 18 straight wins for the Pitt State softball team. Meanwhile, Missouri Southern also at home for a doubleheader this afternoon. The Lions win the first game 3-2, and then they win the second game 1-0 off of a walk-off. And the Lions face Rogers State on the road next weekend. Well, the Pitt State men's basketball team hasn't played in an NCAA Division II game since 2015. And tonight, the Gorillas hit the floor for more postseason basketball. The Gorillas take on Minnesota State Moorhead tonight, and it was a rough night as Moorhead defeats Pitt State 73-55. The season comes to an end for the men's basketball team as they finish the year 21-11. However, that's their best record to end the year since 2005. In junior college men's basketball, the NEO Golden Norsemen are in the NJCAA Regional 2 championship game. And the Norse lose a really close, tight game, 73-71 in the hands of Connors State. NEO still has a chance to make the final tournament, national tournament, I should say, an at-large bid, but we'll just have to wait and see for Selection Sunday. Over to the Big 12 men's championship game in Kansas City, Iowa State versus #1 Houston. Taman Lipsey, how about that move? Knocks down the 3. Cyclones lead by 9. Second half now, Iowa State up by 14. Hassan Ward creates contact. Count the bucket and the foul. ISU leads by 17. Still in the second half, the kid from Ames, Lipsy, sneaks by the defense there for the easy 2 points. And Hilton South is fired up there in Kansas City. Later in the half, Lipsy again passes it down deep to Hassan Ward, and look out below. Big man there for the slam. And what are you going to do? ISU Cyclones win the Big 12 championship in a blowout 69-41. Well, that's your look for sports. We're back after this.
Ever dreamed of going to space? Now NASA is offering an out-of-this-world opportunity to have part of you go to the moon on an upcoming mission. The space agency allowing people to send their names to the moon aboard NASA's first robotic moon rover, Viper. Once all the names are collected, an electron beam will etch them onto a dime-sized microchip that will be attached to the rover. The craft will then head to the lunar South Polar region, where it will be the first rover trek into permanently shadowed areas and research the moon's water. How about that?
That is cool.
I would love my name.
I
want
to do that.
Just permanently etched. That'd be great.
That would be awesome.
You probably don't know what the weather's like on the moon, but what's the weather like here?
There is no weather on the moon.
There is no weather on the moon.
There is no atmosphere. The weather for the next couple of days, little chilly tomorrow, only about mid to upper 50s, maybe some counties seeing mid 60s, but Monday going to be pretty chilly, 51 degrees. Warming up by Tuesday, but we've got rain chances rolling in Wednesday evening and through the rest of the week, pretty rainy.
But no rain on the moon?
No.
Okay.
No atmosphere on the moon.
That's our time for now. From all of us here at KOAM, have a great night.